Boom. Okay. Got it? My next segment is I want to just briefly talk about problem pictures, okay? And there's a couple examples. While y'all are writing this down, we can start. Okay, the first one is some of y'all may have this, is this poor woman here, she has a whole collection of these black and white prints, okay, and she got hit with water, flooding. Was it sewage or just stormwater? Stormwater came in, and I know y'all have been dealing with that, okay? And what happened is, as you see, these are thick. This is not one photo. This is probably about 20 something photos, okay? And they got wet and they stuck together, and some got peeled apart, and she lost the images. Okay, this is the best I can offer when you're in a situation like this. The best I can offer you is when they're wet, take them apart, okay? Immediately. Don't let them dry, okay? Because photos are kind of like, you know, life. They're like life, you know. They came out of the water, they will return to the water. You know, I think that if you think that way, then you know if your picture gets moist, you'll be able to peel it off. Unfortunately, it won't always work, and sometimes the picture will disintegrate in the water, especially if there's other problems with mold and little things living in there, okay? Then you have to dry them, okay? And then you should scan them in, because the mildew will start to set in probably and destroy it, okay? These were done by her at school in a lab, so they're not, you know, they're about 15 years old, so they got some time on them. But if you're dealing with images that are 50 years old, it's really important to get them separated and dried. And you might have to, if they're dry like this again, I say soak some of them a little bit more, maybe on a corner, and for a couple days, and every day just see what you can peel. Don't force it. It should just come right off. Unfortunately, you may lose the emotion. I'm not a conservator, by the way, so you know, one of these websites that I have here, they can refer you to someone that will actually be able to help you with specifics. On the back of the handout, no, I don't have it on this one, sorry. But these websites have great tips on what to do when your originals are destroyed. Okay. All right, next victim. All right, we're like medical school here, showing you the cadavers. Okay, now this is interesting. How many of y'all seen a box? No. It's like, God, Eric, you're getting us now. All right. Look at that towel. No. Oh, God help me. Okay, we got the... No, I'm all right. Okay, bubble wrap. Not archival. This is just temporary. Okay. Hopefully there won't be an earthquake and I'll fall. Okay. So y'all see this? Okay. Now, first of all, this style of frame with the glass and the wood is an antique. They just don't make them like this for sure. And I don't see a lot of these with the glass intact. Usually the glass is missing because it probably broke. Okay. But not only is the glass bowed, but the print, I don't know if you can tell from there, is also bowed. Okay? So tell me, if I want to scan this on my flatbed, what's going to happen? Yeah, it'll split. Now sometimes they're already split when I get them and say, okay. So what do you do in a case like this? All right? I do what's called a copy shot. Okay? And most of us don't have medium format or large format cameras laying around the house to get nice big negatives. So what I recommend is you get a nice digital camera, you take the picture outside in subdued light, not where the sun is hitting you, and not where it's so strong that you're completely in the shadows, but like a cloudy day without the rain, and you photograph it outside. You photograph a picture of it, the whole thing, and then you get in close with a macro close-up setting to get the faces and the eyes. Because when you photograph the picture, just the whole picture, you lose the details in the eyes. And the eyes are the first thing people look at. A photograph is no good if the eyes aren't sharp. You'll never see a professional photographer give you a photo and the eyes aren't sharp unless, well, it was that big accident. And believe me, he or she knows about it. Okay? So you want to get in close, and then you have to put those pictures together. And that leads to the next part of our class, and we're going to do some work. Any questions while I work here? Can you see me okay? At least you can see the screen. Okay. Any questions? Please. Yes, in the back.
What would you do when the picture is stuck to the glass?
Well, again, usually what I do in that case when someone gives me a picture like that, I scan it with the glass on it. Okay, I try to take it out of the frame if I can, and if, of course, the glass if that part is removable, great. Then once I do that, I ask. What I would recommend for you is that you get part of that picture wet. And see what happens with that part of that corner of the picture. And if it peels off easy, well then immerse more of it. And eventually you get it out. Okay? But it's really important to scan it first. Because if you ruin it, then you don't have anything. At least if you scan it now, you'll have something preserved, right? Right? So it's a real crude way, and a lot of us can't afford a conservator. I mean, you're talking about hundreds of dollars to do something. So, if you're not, what do you call, shorting the market with these hedge fund people, you don't have the money for a conservator right now. Okay. Now, earlier today, I see a lot of you brought pictures, and we were able to scan some of them ahead of time. We have some interesting ones here. I want to, come on. All right, that's not it. I want the desktop. Here we go. Ah, good. Now, let's jump into this one. This one's real. This is something everybody's dealing with, okay? Now, this one was already scanned, obviously. So we don't have one to do for the scanning step right now. Let's fix this. Now, first thing I did when I scanned it, I made sure my surface was clean. I made sure no weird filters were on, no automatic settings. I scanned it big. And that's down here, under the scanning section of the handout, I tell you how big the scan, the nominal sizes and the file formats, okay? Now this is a black and white photo. I scanned it in color. Got it? Scan everything in color except pages out of a book, unless there's some neat designs or drawings on it. Scan your black and whites in color. Why? Someone tell me real quick. You're warm. One more.
Look better.
Still magical. I want to take it into the scientific.
Higher pixel count.
Close. More detail. With the no. more detail, more